Mr. Joseph Borman, 201 Oleander Avenue, Palm Beach. TE 20971. We're in the home of Mr. Joseph Borman, 201 Oleander, Palm Beach. On Tuesday, the 27th of February, 1962, the time is 20 minutes after 3. Mr. Borman, when did you come to these parts, sir?
December the 6th, 1894.
From where?
Constantine, Michigan.
Oh, kind of cold and dreary up there in the wintertime, wasn't it,
It
huh?
was 20 below zero when we left there.
What inspired you to come to these parts?
I was working on a dairy farm.
Uh-huh.
Distant relatives of Captain E.N. Dimmick. And we used to read The Tropical Sun up there, published at Juneau by a man by the name of Guy Metcalf. And we read about Florida when we was husking corn at 20 below zero.
He sold you the idea, huh?
And in a few days there was an advertisement in the Michigan paper, an excursion from Constantine, Michigan to West Palm Beach and return, good for 3 weeks for $36.05.
My goodness, what was the form of transportation?
Railroad train.
All the way down here in those days?
Yep. Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Indian River Railway. We got off the train right where Montgomery Ward Sporting Goods place is.
Oh.
December the 6th, 8 o'clock at night.
And how long did it take you to get your money back on the unused portion of the return
I
trip?
didn't get any.
Oh, you didn't?
Never used it.
They didn't give you the money back?
I never went back.
No.
Well, of course, it wasn't supposed to be. We was going to stop off at St. Augustine on the way back. You see, we had 3 weeks. And the dairy farm where I worked, they still owe me $8.
Oh, they do?
Yep.
Have you ever asked them for it?
No. I guess it done them more good than it would me.
Well, now you stayed here. What did
I
you
had
do?
a letter of introduction to Captain E.N. Dimmick. He was the president of the Dade County State Bank, the only bank in all of Dade County. And it was right on the entrance to this north bridge at this present time, just at the north side, where that lawn is.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all the way to get across the lake was we got in a sailboat, and the nigger brought us over for 10 cents apiece.
That was the transportation across?
Transportation. It was either that or swim. We wasn't going to do that because we couldn't swim that far.
And Mr. Flagler hadn't put the bridge across yet?
Oh, no. And I had a letter of introduction to Captain E.N. Dimmick, and in the afternoon we found him. He read it, offered us a job, and told us where we could buy a tent, picked out a spot where there was a tent colony where we could pitch it, stay as long as we wanted to, winter's work. We decided to stay. We bought a camping outfit, and our agreement was me and Mr. M.B. Monroe, that turned out to be a contractor after a while in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. I was the cook and he was the dishwasher.
For the crew?
For he and I.
Oh, I see.
I baked 2 loaves of bread every night, baking powder bread. I'd buy half a barrel of flour and a side of bacon at a time.
How much did a side of bacon cost? Do you remember?
No, not in those days. You can buy a side of bacon for what you pay for a pound now, almost. Mm-hmm. Not quite. Well, we eat a lot of coconuts, too. Jungle bread, we used to call it. Anyhow, we worked on, and I had saved a little money, and I bought a sailboat from an old-timer. He had a 16-foot catboat for $20. I bought it one Saturday night. The wind was blowing pretty stiff. I got in the boat, and I'd only rowed in the sailboat twice across the lake and back. Didn't know the first thing about sailing. But I had to sail about 2 miles to get where I wanted to go, and I nearly capsized a dozen times. But I got tied up to the dock, and the sail all furled up, and was the happiest guy in the country, because I'd made a sailor out of myself. We used to sail all up and down the lake, all over, in fact, as far as that's concerned. I sailed about to Fort Lauderdale inside, way up the Loxahatchee River inside, too.
How was the inside passage clear in those days, all the way?
No. No, in the early days, the canal up at the north end of the lake, Flagler wouldn't let them open it for a long time. There was a half a mile distance that was not open. Me and my friends was up at Juneau and watched the train come in from Jupiter, called the Celestial Railroad. I have a picture of a locomotive.
Who built that Celestial Railroad?
Couldn't tell you that. Built by some old-timers. It was just run from Jupiter to Juneau. All the lumber for the Royal Poinciana was hauled over it from Jupiter to Juneau and then by sailboat again down.
Oh?
When he built the hotel.
Well, it must have been touch and go, tacking up that inland waterway sometimes.
Well, of course, that was all right. When you're used to it, you don't mind it.
How old were you when you first came here?
Well, it was December the 6th, 94. I was 21. Mm-hmm. Monroe was 22. He was a year and 15 months older than me. And, we worked along and had a good time hunting, killing rattlesnakes, every other kind of animal.
There was a lot of game here, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Deer used to be on this island.
When did you move over onto this side?
Oh, we lived on this side when we first came.
From the very beginning, huh?
We lived on what is now, they call it Seaview Avenue. But it was just a lane at that time. There was quite a camp colony there, tent colony. Ours was one of, I think there was 6 tents altogether. Mm-hmm. Some workmen's tents for engineering work and so forth and so on, different things. See, there was Captain Dimmick and George Leonard lived side by each, and they was filling in their swampy land back of their place from the beach hammock with a little old dinky railroad that we named it the Fanny Dugan line.
The Fanny Dugan line?
Me and my pal named it that.
That just ran up and down Palm Beach?
Oh, just from the lake shore to the, not quite to the ocean.
Oh, really? Just
all in sand and filling in, you know. They had 6 dump cars, and they'd made them up, 6 of them. They'd bring 3 loaded, and there'd be 3 up there being filled.
Load them by hand?
Oh, yeah. Shoveling sand.
Shoveling?
Yeah, they had men shoveling sand. Shoveling 10 cents a yard, I think.
And then chug them across and dump them into the swamps, huh?
Yep. Bring it downtown. Every once in a while, they'd have to move their track a little bit.
Well, you must have done quite a bit of different types of work in the years you've been here.
Well, it was all laboring work. $1 a quarter a day. We'd done so good, he paid us $8 a week apiece.
$8 a week?
Yeah, please. Because we was a little better than $7.50. And
how much did it cost you to live?
That I wouldn't know. Not very much. So you could half a barrel of flour was only $2 and something. Side of bacon, about the same thing. Look how long that would last you. Baking powder, always baking powder bread.
This was sow belly, this bacon.
Oh yeah.
Solid.
Well, they'd have buttons on it. That was good. The fat, the grease, you know, just keep you in good shape. Of course, after in Florida, as long as I've been, you couldn't eat that kind of stuff anymore. Don't agree with it.
Did you hunt for bear? And
I have west of Jupiter in the summer of '97. Barefooted.
Barefooted, huh?
Yep. I followed 2 of them for about 3 hours, and they'd gone in a swampy place. There was quite a little thicket in there, too wet to burn, so I could run them out. I walked to camp about 3 miles. Monroe and Elliot Carlisle, they had 2 dogs, got them out there. The dogs found the tracks and they hi-hi-hi'd and beat it. They wouldn't even go in. I never did see them. I never saw them. I was just following the tracks. I just thought it was Indians way back in the night.
Oh.
Billy Bowlegs, he's not a full-blood Indian.
Isn't he?
No. His grandmother was a full-blood nigger. Talk about Billy Bowlegs, being a chief. They weren't a chief at no time. Never was. He was a nice old Indian, wasn't he?
Yes, I've talked to him over at Brighton.
He's good.
He's still alert.
Oh, Lord,
Yeah.
He's very, very alert. We used to shoot targets. I had to furnish the ammunition. An Indian won't waste any shots, and he knew that, didn't he?
He didn't use a bow and arrow, huh?
No. They never waste a shot, as a rule.
Won't practice on targets.
Oh, no. They'd practice as long as I'd furnish the shells. That's all.
What kind of gun do you use?
I used the 3240. I forget what his was. He had a rifle.
Whose make?
I think his was, just not. I forget now. I couldn't even tell you the name.
Smith & Wesson, maybe? Savage?
Well, it was, what's that other brand?
Colt? Remington?
Might have been a Remington. I really wouldn't know because I never paid no attention. Mine was a 3240 Winchester. His might have been a Winchester for all I know.
Buckshot, huh?
Might have been. I used a Winchester rifle. And Monroe, he used a 8-gauge shotgun.
8?
Yeah. Had it shipped down from Michigan. He had it up there. Put 5 drams of powder in and 21 buckshot.
Wow.
Then you need a place to stand on.
You need a wall to stand against.
We camped north of Lake Park in the summer of '95, half a mile back from the lake, and worked for Nathan Pitts on Pitts Island. That was a hotel, in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
He homesteaded Pitts Island, composed of 18 acres of ground. There was a little island to the south of it, 1/2 acre when the mean high water. And the man that homesteaded that had the smallest homestead in the United States and made the most money. Netting green turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Getting $350 a month netting green turtles. This lake was full of green turtles when we.
Use nets on them, huh?
Oh,
Do you think, Mr. Flagler, putting the hotel here resulted in these lots of these moneyed people coming down here?
to a certain extent. See, I was with the Thomas Adams, the chewing gum man, for years.
Oh, were you?
He had a large property here in Palm Beach. From '98 until 1917, when the tore the house down.
Well, then you have seen the thing grow up.
Well, comes
And-
naturally, you don't notice it.
Now, of course, some of it's being torn down.
Yep. Well, you see, the Flagler, he bought property that was already developed as far as that's concerned. The McCormick estate, he bought that, and the McCormick house is still one of the breakers' cottages, north of the breakers. I know it when I'm east of it, I wouldn't know it from the back. And it was moved by hand, because I put in a long splice for them in '95 to buy block and tackle, and nobody could put in a long splice for them. They got me to splice it for them. Of course, me and Monroe was working for J. McDonald. He was the foreman for Mr. Flagler and the builder. They was building the Wayside Inn that burnt in 1903. And he paid us $1.25 a day, and the niggers was getting $1 a day, and every base timber was supplied underneath that hotel. We was on one end and 4 niggers on the other. That's how I got even with that. It's a fact. And Mr. Frem, the head gardener, knew we was good workmen, and he begged us to come with him. We figured he'd made arrangements with McDonald's, but he hadn't. McDonald's stores had fired us. That didn't bother us. We took our camp and went north of Lake Park and was going to plant potatoes on what is now the Prosperity Farms, clearing up land and so forth and so on. We each was supposed to buy 5 acres from George Leonard and Captain Dimmick and Nathan Pitts or whatever it was that owned it. What they call Ermine River was dug by Pitts, Dimmick, and Leonard. Dug by hand. I worked in it all the winter of '97. Cutting muck down that flowed out in the lake. But in the summer of '95, while we was clearing up our land, we was also working on Pitts Island. We painted the hotel for them. We cleaned up a lot of the property. We had to live, you know. We had to earn a little money. I had my sailboat there where we could travel around. And I don't know whether I should tell you this or not. You know, they lynched a white man in Juneau in the summer of '95.
No, I didn't know that.
By the name of Sam Lewis. They got me on TV, and I had to tell them the history of it on TV.
What was he charged with?
Murder. See, he used to strum a guitar on Banyan Street in the early days. What they call First Street over there was Banyan Street.
In West Palm?
Yeah. And there was 2 or 3 saloons there, and me and my friends used to see him there at nighttime sometimes. We never attended barrooms, we'd pass by them, but we never drank to speak. Oh, we'd drink a glass of beer probably. But Sam used to be playing his guitar and hanging around places like that. He was a good-looking guy. But the railroad was going to Miami, and he wanted to be on the ground floor. He went down there, got acquainted with some girl. And her father didn't like it and told Sam to stay away from him. And he killed him. Do you want the rest of him?
Sure.
Captain Hiscock, Sherry Hiscock, still living. His father had a big sloop called the Robinson Crusoe. And he was down on Biscayne Bay at the time. Sam made him take him over to Nassau at gunpoint. They put him in jail in Nassau. He hadn't been in jail not very long, I think, before he bribed a colored gal that done his laundry and bring him a gun. Nigger police come to feed him while he locks them in, and he leaves. Goes down to the waterfront, finds 2 big buck niggers that had a big dory, you know, made him row him back to the mainland.
Oh, God, that's a long row.
Oh, right, they used to do that quite often, you know, in the early history. A dory, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Well, they'll stand any amount of water if you got enough power to plug them, you know that. Well, then he holed up in a little old cottage down that section. They're still looking for him. And the minister and his nephew was looking for him one moonlight night where they figured he had to come for water. And the minister had a double-barrel shotgun loaded with buckshot, and his nephew had a rifle. They told him to throw up his hands, and he pulled down on him and broke his hip. And Sam was yelling and yelling and yelling and so forth and so on. The woman come out, she says, "Give him the other barrel, he ain't dead." He says, "I don't want to kill him." And he goes to pull a rifle from under himself, took his gun out and killed him dead as a doornail. But he pulled him, dragged himself to his little shack. And they was going to burn him out. But he hoisted a white flag that if they'd guaranteed him protection to jail, he'd surrender. They guaranteed him, brought him up to county jail, which was the north end of the lake, Juneau. Not where Juneau is now. It was the north end of the lake. I could go to the spot where the courthouse was, but I'm not going. Because I've been at the courthouse. And on a Saturday afternoon, Ben Monroe was over to the beach gathering turtle eggs and fishing. And there was a big yawl out of Miami. There was high water, and it didn't attempt to come in. It just sail up and down. You know what a yawl is?
Yep.
He was sailing up and down, and a big party on board. We could see them, but they never tried to come in the inlet. We'd seen it in our lake before. We'd never tried to come in, just up and down. And in the midnight, sometimes they went ashore and killed a jailer. They didn't want to kill him. They wanted to shoot a nigger that was on bond for killing another nigger for something, like a nigger deputy. But they Kaiser, that was the jailer's name, in the shoulder and killed him. And Sam cried for a gun. They took him out and strung him up to a pole and put 300 rounds of bullets in. I think it was, according to the paper, there was 300. And Sunday afternoon, we was down on the lake fishing and messing around. There comes a steamboat called the Lake Worth, owned by Captain Hendrickson, going up the lake, went up to Juneau and went back. And we didn't know what it went up for. We had no idea. In fact, we didn't know what they come ashore for, as far as that's concerned. 2 weeks later, we went to town, bought papers, and got all the information and everything. They'd lynched Sam, and the Lake Worth steamboat had gone up to pick his body up and take it down, and it was shipped off somewhere. And there he was, almost within rifle range of that jail. Ourselves.
You ever get the guys in the yawl?
Hmm?
Do you ever get the men in the yawl?
Oh,
No.
what do you want with them? In those days, it was a job well done, I suppose, before they got through.
Was this inlet here built by hand? Was it dug by hand?
What's now, it was, the jetties was placed, but there was no inlet there when we come in. It was further north.
Oh.
More than a mile further north. What is now Singer Island, you know, that was all part of Palm Beach at one time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we went 5.5 miles north of the present inlet.
Oh, I see. I see.
And we decided to give it up because the town did. They didn't care about messing with it. See, it was hard to get to, and so I had a policeman over on the island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then it was one of those things. Well, we used to go 5.5 miles north of there. Town of Palm Beach was a long town.
Yeah.
It's a long town now.
Was it a law-abiding town, for the most part?
Palm Beach? Always has been. Most law-abiding town in the United States. The finest little town in the United States. Even if I do say so.
Well, why shouldn't you?
I hold the world's record, I hold the world's record.
Which one?
Elected 15 years in succession, never asked anyone to vote for me.
That is a record, isn't it?
Nobody ever done that.
And you didn't even have to appear on TV to do it, did you?
No, no, of course, I had no opposition except twice. That didn't mean nothing. Didn't bother me. Oh, well, of course, I was on the Tutti Frutti chewing gum estate. If I hadn't been there, well, I couldn't have taken the job anyhow. It's only $25 a month in the summertime.
Oh, is that all you got?
I didn't get that for a long time. They didn't have any money. But heck, they wasn't the town of Palm Beach. It was just created for a certain purpose. To keep West Palm Beach from governor. You didn't know that, did you? The powers that was in those days was Captain Ian Dimmick and a few of others. Made arrangements for John Gremlin, a Miami attorney, to come up with incorporation papers. And April the 17th, 1911, 8 o'clock at night, the town of Palm Beach was incorporated in the old Palm Beach Hotel with 33 votes. I got 20 votes and my opponent got 13. Captain Dimmick was elected mayor. Mr. John McKenna was elected clerk. I was elected marshal and tax collector. Enoch Rook, John Doe, Mr. Donnelly, William Frem, Mr. Ryman was elected on the council. Mr. Enoch Rook was elected president of the town council. That was the first council composed in Palm Beach, the first mayor, the first marshal and tax collector, the first clerk.
Were there any problems in collecting taxes in those days?
Not a bit. Never had any trouble.
What was the total tax roll? Do you remember?
No, I wouldn't know. They have it down at the town hall. Still there. They have the old records.
But everybody paid up.
Oh, yeah. Always have in Palm Beach. Always have.
And you never had any trouble with the natives as the marshal, huh?
I would say no. There wasn't any natives. A lot of niggers in wintertime. See, the hotel company would bring down all the waiters for the pension and the breakers, you know. They had barracks for them to live in.
They lived on the island?
Oh, yeah. And, one Sunday morning, there was, we had an awful lot of wheelchairs. And a lot of niggers owned their own wheelchairs, and they could only go certain places. They couldn't hang around every place. And one of them got shot one Sunday morning on the hotel grounds right in front of the pension. I was half shaved right in there. I finished shaving, upped on my bike and got down there, and I just got down there in time to see the sheriff and the coroner taking the body away. And all the watchmen the hotel company had, they call them policemen, you know, but they were really watchmen to me. All carried guns, and the big man was, not the boss man, his name was Cottrell. And they were scared to death because there was all the niggers around that neck of the woods, you know, was parading up and down, was afraid to be tired, a lot of them. And I told him, I said, Mr. Cottrell, you get all your watchmen. I said, get them all out of here and leave the niggers to me. He says, you can animal law? I said, sure. I knew them all, the best part of them. I told him I got them together, and I says, boys, I says, you can't do old man Small any good. He's dead. They got the man locked up. I says, get your boys together and go on about your business. I had it all cleared away in 15 minutes. Everything good. And two of them was going to the north end of Ponciana, and they had a smart cop they were supposed to be. Thought he was smart. Told them if they didn't get a leg on, they'd get the same as old man Small got. Then they went on strike right after him. Mr. Beamer said to call on me again. I had to go and straighten that all out. He says, what can I says, fire that man. I said, he ain't no good to you. I says, I spend my time straightening everything out, getting them settled down and so forth and so on. And he ruins it. Just because he wants to play smart. I said, you can't play smart with niggas.
I suppose they got ginned up sometimes.
Well, they won't bother you if you don't know how to handle them. We got a call one time. I was sitting in the office on old Main Street. What is it now? A drunk nigger with a big 45 on the hotel ground scaring people. Lockwood says, you going out? Oh, I said, sure. I went out. I didn't carry no gun. I never carried a gun. I found him. I said, boy, what you doing? He said, Chief, I've been having some fun. I said, you what? He said, I sure have. I said, give me the gun. He gave it to me. I stuck it in my belt. I said, come on, let's go. Put him in jail. Went and hunted up the people that sent the complaint in. They wouldn't appear against it because they worked for the hotel company. So I let him sleep his drunk off. Give him a lecture. Never had no more trouble. Never saw him again as I know of. He never bothered anybody.
What about the tourists in those days? They cause trouble?
Oh, not to speak of.
Did they ever have, with all this wealth around here, didn't you have jewel thieves
No.
come in?
No. We had a jewel robbery at the north end of the, up the north end. It was quite a piece up. The Vale estate. Mrs. Vale had lost an awful lot of jewelry and a lot of cash money. And I was the first one she called. And I got up there and She says, see, my suitcase is gone. It's got my initials on it, H Vale in big letters. She says, you watch the trains. I said, Mrs. Vale, that suitcase ain't going on no train. She said, what do you mean? I says, listen, if they come by boat, that suitcase is in the lake. And if they come by car, that suitcase is in the swamp. I said, ain't going to carry that damn thing, it's too much giveaway. I said, put yourself in their place, what would you do with it? The chauffeur come in at the time, Clarence. I knowed him well. He says, Clarence, go down and look at the swamp and see if you can see it. He went down, went through the sawgrass a piece and brought the suitcase back. By the time he got back with it, Peggy Hummel, a Pinkerton man, mind you, that was with the sheriff's department, happened to come in at that time. He was the one that put it there because he knew where to go and get it. And you couldn't get that through his head, that I had just told Mrs. Vale, if they come by car, they'd throw it away in the swamp on the way back. And if they come by boat, it'd be thrown in the lake. And I said, she sent him out to look for it, and he brought it back.
Empty, of course.
Nothing in it. She had a lot of jewels in it. But the funny part was on her dresser, there was thousands of dollars worth of jewels that wasn't touched. But they'd gone in her pocketbook and taken $100 bills out. There's a bishop that was staying at Mrs. Vale's with his daughter and his wife. And his daughter was married to a no-good bum that was supposed to be an artist. They're the only ones that knew where the stuff was.
Did they ever find it?
No, because they was always on the wrong track. And she was a peculiar girl. I used to have to go up and ride down with her when she was going to the Ponciana ball. Ride down with the chauffeur, just to please her. Ride with him.
Bagel, was that telephone or Pennsylvania Railroad?
No, neither one.
Neither?
No. And she used to carry jewelry. The shoe buckles was all diamonds and all that kind of stuff. She'd always give me $5, sometimes $50 just for accommodating me. She was a wonderful old girl. And she never believed it was Clarence. But the Pinkerton men, they got one thing in the red and they keep it. Why, he says, he's got a house up in New York State where he lives. He didn't know that Mrs. Vale had the mortgage on the house. And he says, I can't live like that. He says, I get more pay than he does. So I says, yeah, but how many drinks do you take? And how much cigars you do? I says, you don't even smoke or drink. But still, they still hanged on that was him. They never got after the right party, in my estimation. However, in rambling around, this would be more interesting than anything else. There's a shell mound on the ocean front, just south of Mrs. Guest's house. And the 25th of December, 1913. But it was in 1913 when this robbery was. I was up on the top of this shell mound, and there was a deep hole dug, and you could see the impression where someone had dug out a cache from pirates one time. Mm-hmm. But these palm trees, each one had a mark on it, and it was right in the dead center. And the Miami Herald was left there. And Peter Larson, an old-time sailor, that when he was a boy, he sailed with pirates, and he found a lot of different places in Florida where he dug up money that they'd buried. There's one place in Palm Beach yet that he never could find. Big rubber tree on the north end of this island, where there's supposed to be a pirate's burial, according to maps I gave him as a kid, and so forth. And he retained them. He left here one time broke and come back with a brand new schooner from Jacksonville. He used to sail a schooner from Jacksonville out all by himself. He was a typical sailorman. But he had a pineapple plantation between Juneau and Jupiter, and took care of pineapples. one thing or another. I worked with him in Pineapples in the summer of '97. And he finally succumbed. He used to live on a boat, big old cat boat called a slow motion. Always had a dog. He was just quite a character. But all the old people that knew him in those days, Danes and so forth, are dead. But that was about aboard. Well, the military trail, you've heard of that, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
You know why it's called the military trail?
No.
The United States Army fighting Seminoles.
Oh. Put it in south of Jupiter, huh?
It was almost Fort Pierce. I've traveled it from Jupiter, just south of Jupiter. I've traveled it with a horse and wagon to get to West Palm Beach way back in 1904. Took me 3 days. I had to go south of Delray to get on the coast road. Back up. Thomas Adams, the chewing gum man, was getting out dyewoods on the Miami River in 1848 for a firm in New York. And the Seminole Indians run him off. He escaped to Nassau with his whole outfit, his wife and family and the crew that he had working. And then the Miami River in those days, there was plenty of crocodiles. His oldest son come pretty near getting caught with one time. He gave me a lot of that stuff from way back in the early days. He was an Englishman. But
Mr. Borman, I'm entranced with having talked to you, and I'm very grateful to you because you've been a great help.
well, you think it'd be worth a darn?
I think it'll be worth a double darn.